Hey guys, so this is going to be a review of the Roland VAD 706 drum kit. So this is probably I had it now about 3 months. Brought it here from the Roland distributor in the Philippines. Went over to Manila and picked it up. So that's Yupangco, and it doesn't come with the throne, it doesn't come with the snare stand, it doesn't come with the kick pedal, it doesn't come with the hi-hat stand. So the hi-hat stand and the snare stand I purchased separately. I got those from Audiophile. And the useful thing was the Audiophile store is at SM North EDSA in Manila, which is also where the Yamaha store was, which also sells the Roland stuff here. So I could get everything all in the one trip. And as a Christmas promo, it came with the kick pedal and the throne. So the kick pedal's been okay. I'll probably will upgrade at some point to a double kick pedal. But it's been really good so far. Perfectly happy with it for playing at home. So the VAD 706 comes with the TD50X module, which we'll go over shortly. And it comes with 3 digital triggers. So that's the hi-hat and the snare and the ride cymbal. So these connect up digitally using a USB connector. You can see here we've got a USB on the slide on the ride cymbal. But with the other cymbals and the toms, you've only got these regular jack connectors. So the reasoning is, the USB can transmit a lot more data a lot more quickly, and so those digital triggers really have some cool features, which we'll see shortly. So this kit looks like an acoustic kit, but obviously it's not. It's all mesh heads, it's all complete electronic, so you can play it with your headphones on, not disturb anybody or disturb any of your neighbors. Great also for recording. So let's take a look at the module. So this module comes with a lot of inputs. We've got the 3 digital inputs coming from the ride, the snare and the hi-hat. We've got our toms and kick pedals plugged in. We've also got though extra connectors here. So if you had a non-digital snare, you can plug that in. So you can use the 50X module even if you don't have the digital triggers. So that's a neat feature. It also as well has these auxiliaries, so obviously you can plug in extras. There's 4 auxiliary inputs here, so you can plug in some extra crash cymbals. You can also get an extra floor tom and plug that in. So really nice. The snare, a stainless steel shell, looks really cool. This rubber around the rim here, you can take it off, you don't have to have it on. Same also on all these other rims, there's this rubber that you can take off, but I've left it on. So this is a full 3-ply mesh head. You can tighten it up and tune it just like you would a normal snare, although when you tighten up the tuning pegs here, it doesn't actually tune it. It doesn't, the tuning is done electronically. What it does, it tightens up the mesh head so you can get, the right type of stick bounce that you want to have. Same also with all of the other mesh heads, you can tighten them up. But all of the tuning, obviously, and everything is done through the actual drum module itself. So we've got plenty of outputs as well. So you've got direct outs. So if you've got a big enough mixing desk, which I don't, but if you do, you can actually bring out each one of these as a separate output. So you can bring out the hi-hat, the crash, the snare, and you can record all of those multi-track into your recording software, or you can bring it out into the mixing desk if you're playing live. And each one of these can be managed at the desk level, and a mix can be done to tune for the particular room that you're playing in. So that's really neat. You know, I don't go out and gig. I don't. You know, I'm a hobbyist. You've also got the MIDI ins and outs to connect up to your computer as well, or you know, use these pads as MIDI triggers. So lots of cool stuff there on the module itself. Really good hardware, very robust, sturdy hardware for everything to be mounted on. Now you can get it in black, cherry red, and this natural wood color. I actually ordered cherry red, but when I opened up the box it was this natural wood color, and I'm not disappointed with it. Actually, it goes well with the wooden floor, so I'm quite happy with that. So let's check out then some of the features of the digital hi-hat. So that's one of the big selling points of the VAD 706. So because this is a digital hi-hat, it's got, you know, multiple trigger points, and you can really play in different parts of the hi-hat and get different sounds. And also as well, depending on how hard you push down on the pedal itself, it can alter as well the sound. So just listen to this. Come out to the edge, go towards the bell. So it's a really cool hi-hat. You know, as far as an electronic hi-hat goes, it's really cool. You know, it's very dynamic. You can play in all different areas. Very responsive. Very happy with this. Probably one of the best digital hi-hats out there on the market. The snare, obviously, is a digital snare as well. You can get the rim shots. You can play from the edge to the middle. Very cool. And again, then with the ride cymbal, depending on where you play, different sounds. The crash cymbals, very cool also. You can mute these, so that's pretty nice. They don't have the multi-zones. You know, these are not digital crashes. So maybe, you know, in the future, maybe that's sort of going to be the next upgrade from Roland, go all digital. But, you know, at the moment, it doesn't really matter where you play it, although there is an edge zone. So if you play the edge, you get a different sound to if you play the tip. So there is two zones to this, basically. But it doesn't have the same dynamic range to it as the digital inputs. The bass, very good, responsive. So overall, been really happy with it. So now let's check out some of the kits. It's got all sorts of sounds in here. It comes with a bunch of kits already programmed into it. Let's check out some of these. So probably, you know, one of my favorite is this Stadium Rock kit. Let's just turn the volume up a bit. That's the Stadium Rock kit. I also like playing the Back to the 80s, the one that was on a moment ago. This one here. So that's pretty neat. You know, if you're playing like 80s pop, you got this rock maple kit. That's pretty neat. Then you got orchestral. There's all sorts of funky sounds as well, if you want to do a techno. Oh, what else we got in here? We've got this hip hop. What else we got on here that's pretty neat? And then we got some tribal stuff as well, which is quite fun to play. Let's have a look what we got here. This one. So you got this. So that's pretty neat. Forgive my playing. I'm trying to play one-handed and hold the camera at the same time. So lots of different kits, and then you can go into each one of these kits and actually kind of tune it yourself. So you can customize the kits, you see here? So if you go into the instrument there, you can choose, so you hit one of the drums to select it. So let's say this here is my, my snare. And then you can go into here and you can change, say, the tuning of the snare. So this is how you actually change the tuning here. So you can change the tuning of the kit from within here, which is pretty neat. You can choose what muffling you want, so you can make it more or less muffled. You can choose what type of instrument it is, so you can choose the actual type of drum, you know, so this here, or you can go to say a 40s a maple drum, a mahogany drum, steel. So you can go through all these different types of snare drums. So you can fully customize these kits. And then you can go in here, you can change the shell depth, so you can make it deeper. So you can choose how deep the shell is. So it's really, really cool. You know, so you can have an 8.5 inch shell depth, a 9 inch shell depth. Go into here, then you can choose how tight you want to have the wires. You can choose the type of wires. You can choose the wire level. You can get more snare or less snare. You can choose how tight they are. So that will be very loose. And you can tighten up the snare strings. And then under the advanced settings here, you can choose the head types. And so, you know, there's really a ton of stuff you can do in here. And then you can snapshot this kit. Once you've customized it, you can snapshot it and save it for future use, which is really cool. You also go in here to the ambience. You can choose how this kit is mic'd. You can choose the room ambience. So where the mics are actually placed inside of the room. Really cool stuff that you can do here. So fully customizable in every way. And if you just hit this button down here, it'll just take you back then to the kit. So that's back now to its default because I didn't save it. What else we got here? So you can play a click track, obviously. So you can play along to a metronome. You can also play along with songs. It's got some built-in songs. So, for example, you can select the song, play it. Now you got a mixer here, so you can mix this song in, with your playing along. So, also as well, we've got a mix in. So actually there's you see here, there's a mix in, there's an audio jack down here. So if you have a backing track you want to play along with, so what I will often do, I'll hook up my computer to the mix in. I'll just take a line out from the computer to the mix in here, fire up a track on YouTube, play along with it. So that's really cool too. You can also save tracks to an SD card. You can stick it into the SD slot in the side here. You can play along that way. Also as well for recording, there is the USB output as well. So rather than using the actual MIDI interface, you can plug the USB in. And well, I'm using a Mac on Logic Pro X. It detects it as a MIDI input and output. And you can use this then as the MIDI triggers. So that's really cool too. Obviously then you've got your master volume and your headphone volume. So yeah, really very cool kit. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you can do with it. I'm not going to go into all of it now on this particular video, but really good. very happy with it. Another cool feature you'll see here. You see this color. So you see the actual LED light colors change. So you can assign different LED colors to different types of kits. So it's easy for you to find. So let's say all of the rock kits could be yellow. All of the R&B kits can be blue. All of your jazz kits can be green. So you can assign these colors. So it's easy when you're scanning through. I just want to find a jazz type kit, or I want to find a rock type kit, or I want to find a dance, a hip hop type kit. So that's pretty neat. You can also set up as well these set lists. So if you're playing with a band and you've got a particular set list and you have different kit setups for each different song, then you can already do it here. So in between songs, you're not having to kind of find the next kit that you need. You can set up this set list and then you can just go through it. So, for each song, your kit is already there. There's also a foot switch input. So I think from a foot switch, you can also change kits. So you can even do it mid-song. You could hit the foot switch, change the kit type in the middle of a song, which also is really quite cool. So you can also then select the triggers that you've got. So you can see all of the different triggers here as we play them. You can see them coming up there. Tells you what they are. You can also set up as well here so we've got the digital snare, the digital hi-hat. This is the VH1 4D. That's the name of the hi-hat that we've got there. And then you can set up the hi-hat here. So you want to set it up so that you've got open here, so you can see this moving. So as I push down the pedal, you see it senses the position. And then you've got there then as it's fully pushed down. So this is how it senses the different positions. So basically, if you undo the hi-hat lock and just let it sit in its natural position, you should find there, you see, it's centered on that. So there is some setup to do. That basically configures the hi-hat, and then to put it back, just push down your pedal as far as you want, twist to lock it back into place. Now you've got your open and closed positions. Yeah. So then you can change things like the foot splash sensor. So you can up this, say for example, here. So you can increase the foot splash sensor, or you can decrease that. Noise cancelling, the pressure sensor. So, again, everything here is customizable. Once you're done, just hit there to go back to your kit. Now I'll turn off my set list. Just go back to my normal instrument. So you can also, record to an SD card as well. So if you put an SD card in, you can hit this record button, and you can record the drum only, or record the drum and the song. I think you can also record internally as well. But if you want to maximize the capacity, you can use the SD card. I haven't played around with this feature yet. What else? So obviously you've got these mixers here, so you can adjust the mix of your individual drums. So that's also a useful feature if you're not using the multi-output. So if you don't have a mixing desk where you can take in each one of the drums separately with the outputs and mix them at desk level, you can also mix it here as well, which is also a cool feature. So there we go. Now I'm just going to give you a demo of some of the different kits that we've got here. So sit back and listen. Okay, let's take a look at some of my favorite kits here. Some of the fun ones, you've got this tribal percussion kit. got a vintage swing kit for like big band type music. I'm just going to take the kick down a little bit in the mix. So you got a swing type kit. Another one I like here, this one, back to the 80s. It's got a poppy 80s sound to it. I do like as well the stadium rock. That one, the kick, is a little faded in the background. On the other kits, it was higher in the mix. So on this occasion, you got to turn up the kick on your EQ here. I use that one a lot. I probably said that earlier, so I do use the Stadium Rock kit a lot. What else we got here? Yeah, this is for R&B ballad. So it's got a kind of snap to it. So the snare is not really a snare on this, it's more like a kind of rim shot or a wood block or something. Toms are and the cymbal is like going along a bunch of metal chimes. So yeah, you got all sorts of sound effects, you know, that you can use this for as well. Not only as that's basically most of the cool kits that are in here that I like. It's a loud rock. There we go. That's kind of my review of the VAD 706. I'm not a professional drummer. I played a lot in my teenage years, and then probably for the past 15 years I haven't really played very much at all because I haven't had a kit. I was traveling around, lived in different places, different parts of the world, and I just, drums were too big to carry around with you, and I was usually living in apartments. And it was just too noisy. So now, I'm settled here in the Philippines, and our house is done. So this was a treat, and I'm getting back into playing again. So I'm still, rusty. I've only been back in the drum throne for 3 months, but I'm getting back into the groove again. And I hope you found the review of this useful. I love the kit. I spent a lot of time thinking about which kit I was going to get when it came to electronic kits, and if nothing else, this just looks great. So I really like it for that reason. It just looks really good. So there we go. That's my review. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.